Hello, Mech Warriors. I have found a new build that I really love for my ambush. And I know some of you guys are out there like, oh, it's blasphemy to put missiles on an ambush. Yeah, I've been doing this for a couple years now, though. And I had been running 2 ATM-6s, 2 ATM-9s with 4 ER medium lasers. And I had been also running 4 LRM-15s with Artemis and then 4 ER medium lasers. But I've come up with a new build that I really like, and I can dish out a ton of damage. Several tons of damage when you count it out, technically. And, of course, the ambush looks pretty much the way it normally does, and when people see this on the battlefield at a distance before they get target information, they think ER medium lasers probably, and some sort of a ballistic weapon if it's OEM stock. And I don't think I've ever really run that with much success. And what I mean by that is, I've tried the ballistic build and the energy build with it, and I just never really enjoyed it. But I purposely bought the ambush a few years back because it's the only Sun Spider that gives you 4 energy points, 2 in the left torso, 2 in the right torso. And I really dig that. And as soon as I bought it, the first thing I did is I switched out the arms, and everything else has been history, and I've had some amazing matches. I've done well over 1100 damage in this mech many times. And you can do a lot with the Sun Spiders because the Sun Spiders have an amazing cooldown quirk that's kind of built into the design. It really works well for cooldown. It's got a decent speed on the battlefield, and because the weapon placement is really good, you don't have to deal with low-slung weapons like you do on some of the other mechs. Even in a clan mech, like if you compare this to like a Hellbringer, some of your weapons are going to be down on the arms. Same thing with like an Jag and a lot of the other mechs. This mech just does it so much better than so many other mechs out on the battlefield. Not to mention, if you have 4 missile points on a Jaguar, you have 1 laser. That is the only way you can do it. And trust me, I've tried. If you do 3 missile points, you can get 3 lasers. So, you know, there's a trade-off. But let me show you what the trade-off is in this build. So this build here, we're going with 4 energy points like we normally did, but we're doing 4 small lasers. And the small lasers are going to give me a little bit of range, 200, and obviously with skilling it gives you a little bit more. And these are mainly designed to pick off targets when they get below or close to below my LRM range. As we all know, LRMs have a shutdown right around 160 meters. They don't do anything hardly at all. They do a little bit of damage, and I'll still fire them at people even though I know the range isn't going to do much for me, because what it does do is you're firing them in the face, and it doesn't allow them to get a good target lock or target damage on you at that close quarter. It's hard for them to see. So you can do a little bit of twisting and stuff, and hopefully it'll be enough for somebody to come in and help you out on the battlefield. So what I am running on this is I'm running 2 LRM-15s, 2 LRM-20s. I've got my 4 ER medium or ER small lasers on board. I've got 2 double heat sinks, and I've got 8 tons of ammo. Now what's special about this setup is that I fire all 4 of the missile points in alpha strikes. I fire them all the time in alpha strikes, and what happens is the cooldown on these is 4.3 seconds for the LRM-15s, but it's 4.6 seconds. I always thought it was 4.8. It's 4.6 seconds on the LRM-20s. So it's going to create a pseudo chain fire after a little bit of time. If you keep holding that button down, the LRM-15s will fire, and then your LRM-20s will fire. And it creates a sort of a pseudo chain effect. And that actually does help you with cooling a little bit. Now, the maximum range on the LRMs is 900 meters, and if you skill them out, you go all the way up to 1035. And that's pretty decent. Time to getting there with the velocity is actually pretty decent. And because these are LRMs, they have indirect fire as well, so you can take advantage of that as well. So having the skill for target decay is really going to be a benefit, especially on LRMs, which I've talked about before. Let's talk about the meat and potatoes. What are we getting out of this build? Well, we're getting a heat management of 1.35, which is pretty decent. Remember, you're not going to be using these unless somebody gets close enough for you to actually want to use them. And it's typically going to be for defensive purposes. The rest of the time, you're going to be firing those LRM 15s and LRM 20s and alpha strikes at your targets. Wait about 5 seconds in between. Just go with 5 seconds. I know the cooldown is 4.6, but wait 5 seconds for your next volley and then fire them. And if you continue doing that in 5-second intervals, you can do that about 4 or 5 times before you get into major heat issues. And that's throwing a lot of weapon down range. I mean, we're talking about, what do we got here? We got 40 and 30, that's 70 damage you're throwing down range every time. And believe me, when you hit somebody with 70 LRM missiles, it's going to make some difference to them, especially on the battlefield. In the beginning of the match, it's going to give them a wake-up call, but towards the end of the match, it's going to be very deadly and painful because they're going to start losing parts, especially if you have the skills set up properly, which I always do. So once again, we have a heat management of 1.35, we have a firepower of 90, and a speed of 81, and that's unskilled. By the way, we have full armor on this build, and I think this is properly set up for the ample amounts of armor in the rear, as long as you have situational awareness. I see so many players out there, hint, Resurgent, that puts +7 in the rear, and I can't really get my head around that. I just can't. To me, it's just wasted armor. That, you know, if somebody's coming up behind you and constantly you're getting clocked in the rear, maybe you need to get seismic sensor on board your mech, and that way you can put a little bit more armor up front and less in the rear. That's just something to consider. Now on this build, as far as quirks go, we're not going to get a lot, honestly. We are getting a chassis C build bonus, a +30, yay. We are getting a base armor to the center torso, a +10, and left and right arms, +7. That's it. It's not a lot for this build. I mean, there's really just not a lot associated with this. But if you go to the skills tree, you can really load up on features here. So what did I load up on? Full range, full heat generation. Absolutely want to maximize this build the best I possibly can. I added 2 points into velocity. Now you can trade out like 3 of these here and put these into velocity and still do pretty well. You just got to watch the number of alpha strikes you do with your missiles. But you can do that if you want to get your missiles there just a little bit quicker. I preferred to went with heat generation this way and then 2 points into velocity. You can use these 2 points over here, by the way, into cooldown. And by the way, you see this has been used already over here. What I do when I'm doing a brawler build is I trade out all my range and go with cooldown. But I'm not going down that road right now. So I went with additional ammo, tighter spread, and more chances of doing critical damage. That's where you really need to add. You need to have at least these 4 here, and maybe skip out on this if you're going to go a different route with your energy weapons or something. Skeletal density, armor hardening, reinforced casing, and overheat damage, or what I call override damage. I have all those maxed out. Absolutely a must for me, at least. Especially if you get hot. When I get hot, I just want to keep firing my missiles and do as much damage as I can. Chances are, you know, it may be my last chance to get that damage in, and that's going to give you that better score. You're going to die in the end. Everybody dies eventually. I run override, so I have cool run and heat containment maxed out. And as I mentioned earlier, target decay. Target decay is all about that target going into cover and you being able to lob missiles on them even though they've gone into cover. Sometimes they get up close to a building or a structure, not much you can do about that, but a lot of times they go into cover because they're just simply out of your preview, and then you can continue with that lock and hit them with more missiles, even though they've got ECM or whatever the case may be. And I run 2 cool shots into UAV. Now, this build isn't without faults, especially in the skills tree. I had to give up on seismic, which I would have loved to have had, because then it gives me a little bit better spatial awareness. And I had to give up on sensor range and radar deprivation. I really would have loved to have had sensor range. I couldn't give 2 shits about radar deprivation. But sensor range would have been a bonus. But it's a trade-off. Target decay or sensor range. So with this build, you're kind of dependent on being close to others for a little bit better sensor range information, getting those locks and stuff. So you got to take that into consideration. So if you wanted to get sensor range improvements, I would say take 2 of these off of overheat damage, 2 of these off of here, and then maybe 1 off of velocity, or maybe take 1 off of radar deprivation or radar target decay. And that would get your sensor range. And that way you can reach further out, you can see targets at better range, and get those locks a little bit better. So that's just something to consider. Another thing to consider would be to take the 2 half tons of ammo off and add yourself a targeting computer, and that'll help you with that sensor range as well. I'm a big fan of the sensor of targeting computers and ASC. And as far as the setup of this, like I said, I'm basically doing buttons 1 and 2 to operate my lasers, left and right, and then button 3 is on an alpha strike to fire all 4 of my LRM missiles. It's a pretty well-rounded build all around as far as being able to defend yourself and also reach out at targets. LRMs, the range isn't the best it possibly could be, but it is pretty decent still nonetheless, especially with the skills tree. Without the skills tree, it's unremarkable, honestly, I have to say.
Target spotted.
Yeah, where's that gauzer?
Yeah, I'm getting out of there. Hide behind the mech that's got trees on him.
That would be me. Power, he can hit from the left too, he hit me there.
New target acquired. New target acquired.
Two are coming to the valley of death. 2. One Orion and an SO.
Critical.
Target spotted.
New target
Target
acquired.
spotted. Target spotted.
New target acquired.
I got rain on Fox.
New target acquired.
Indigo's in the open. Is
New target acquired.
we have multiple contacts, Echo 7.
New target acquired.
Charlie's left torso's open.
Overrun engage. New target acquired.
Yeah, we have a murder ball in Echo 7.
New target acquired.
Alpha's got all kinds of internal damage.
New target acquired.
Man, ECM is thick.
Target spotted.
New target acquired.
Target spotted.
And try and get it close enough so I can drop a UAV on these guys.
UAV activated.
Oh, there we go.
New target acquired.
go in.
Golf's legs are both cored for anybody who wants to go after him. He's down to one leg, I think, now. Yep.
Target destroyed. New target acquired. Target acquired.
Una mas.
Target acquired. Target destroyed.
I love that war horn. It's got the guy
Me too.
opening his mouth and stuff. Oh,
Warriors, you have taken the target. We are victorious in battle.
GG. This is a pretty decent build. I really like it.
Or make a whole lot of noise, you'd probably like it.
Big missile build.
Target spotted. Target spotted.
Looks like there are a lot of activity on the Echo 3 Delta 3 line.
Target spotted.
Target
10-4.
acquired.
What's my big free?
Grasshopper upstairs. I already gave him some
Target
love.
spotted.
New target acquired.
Target spotted. Target spotted.
New target acquired.
Target spotted. Target spotted.
New target acquired. Critical.
Target spotted. Target spotted.
New target
Target spotted.
acquired.
Target spotted. Target spotted.
I'm dropping down. There's not enough of us up there.
Target spotted. Target spotted.
Target acquired.
Target spotted. Target spotted.
Bravo's a good target. Right torso's a little soft.
Target spotted.
Heat level critical. New
Target
target
spotted.
acquired. LBK-H activated. New target acquired.
Target spotted. Target spotted.
New target acquired.
Target spotted. Target spotted. Target spotted.
New target acquired.
Target spotted.
New target acquired.
Target spotted. Target spotted.
Hi, Danby.
Target spotted.
Acquired.
build is really hot. There we go.
Target acquired. Left torso critical damage. Override engage.
Target spotted. Affirmative.
We have a urban mech upstairs at Charlie 4.
New target acquired. Warning, incoming missile.
He's hunting me.
New target acquired.
Target spotted.
Looks like only half of the enemies remain.
Spotted. Target
New
spotted.
target acquired.
We're half down. Don't let the hostiles take down any more of you.
Echo upstairs is pretty cored out on his right side. He's above Charlie 4, Charlie 3 area.
Heat level critical. New target acquired. Target destroyed. New target acquired. Arm destroyed. Left leg critical damage.
I'm out of ammo, so I'm just acting as a target for you guys. Keep tagging them.
I blew myself up.
The jaws of defeat are closing in around us.
Target destroyed. Target acquired. Heat level critical. Level critical. Level critical. Target destroyed.
GG.
Bask in the glory of your triumph.
Nice job, everyone. Sorry about the one toe I stepped on. Not bad. Not bad at all. I got second place on my team.
Target acquired.
Hopefully I got a hit on that. Oh, I got hits on that guy.
New target acquired.
Bravo's coming in.
New target acquired.
We got an assault in the basement at Echo 5. Careful when you come up there, son, Spider.
New target acquired.
They gonna rain on H? in there? They got a sniper way back in Fox 4. Low signal, Delta 5.
Target spotted.
Charlie's cord, really bad.
New target acquired.
There's a sniper in Fox 4, Fox 3 area.
Incoming missile. Incoming missile.
You can't get me from here. I think I can get him though. Yep.
Affirmative.
New target acquired.
I can rain on Indigo.
New target acquired.
Target spotted.
I got no armor pushback.
I see a lot of them moving into the basement of the Echo 5.
Warning, incoming missile. Warning, incoming missile.
Box's right torso's open. He doesn't have much of the mech left.
Target destroyed. Target acquired.
Ouch. Oh man. His mech is still sparking, you see that? That's great. I didn't do any team damage that time. 1 KMDD, 6 assists, 769 damage, 468 taken. So I was definitely in the fight. 2 components destroyed. Boy, I remember when I took the torso off that direwolf, I think it was. Yeah, we were defeated. We had 3 players that did really well. But even the guy in that Piranha did 494 in that little Piranha. That's impressive. That was a good match. 872 was our top damage on their team. 927, 881. It was a good match. It was a good match. I just wish we had comms. It would have made so much more of a difference.